All right, what's up everybody? Today I wanted to talk about the plan for renovating this Gulfport triplex, for selling out of the quadplex, potentially splitting the quadplex into two duplexes, flipping the vacant property that we have in Gainesville, which was previously entitled for 21 townhome units, and just generally talking about the whole life plan. Ryan is going to be moving here in about a month's time. Lilia is in the process of becoming a doctor. We are currently pet sitting this rabbit. Her name is Lulu. She's the guest star of this show. So anyway, I'd kind of like to go ahead and walk through this entire kind of plan for the future that my brother and I came up with when he came to visit probably 3 months ago. So I want to clear off this dry erase board, so kind of thought I'd just talk everything through before I do so. Submitting an offer to buy this house. Our lease ends in May or June of next year, and what I'd like to do is try to negotiate the best deal that I possibly can for this house, and then put some money into fixing it up and then flipping it, and then using those sale proceeds to go into this Gulfport triplex that I've been talking about. So that is going to be submitting the offer to buy this house. There we go. Doing 1 to 2 fix and flips per year. If we can make 30 to 40,000 per fix and flip, that would be ideal. Kind of stick with the same contractor group that we would use to fix up this Gulfport triplex. So that's on the list of things to do in the future. A little bit of background: I am a broker myself. I own 2 real estate brokerages. I deal with mostly commercial real estate, but I really started my career in single family fix and flip type of deals. So by 1, 2 to 4 unit multifamily property per year, really targeting potential Section 8 rental property in the Bartow and Winter Haven area. The reason why we really have that there is because we already have a property, which is that quadplex located in Winter Haven, and ideally I wouldn't have to drive an hour out to Winter Haven from Tampa to go and manage that property, and this Gulfport triplex really takes the cake. You can do short-term rentals there. The main house could potentially be used as a headquarters for our real estate brokerage, so that's really the game plan, and I think we've kind of deviated from that for the time being. But yeah, still buying a 2 to 4 unit multifamily property per year. I think for like 5 to 10 years until we can afford to buy bigger commercial property is still a pretty good goal. Working weekends, buy a work truck. So the work truck would really be a write-off, a tax write-off for the real estate brokerage. For instance, I have a push lawnmower that I had to get repaired, and I got it repaired 9 minutes down the road. Had it sticking out of the trunk, the hazard lights on, and people driving behind me pretty slow, and just can't be doing that all the time. The whole car smells like gas, and we want to be like clearing lots of land. We want to haul stuff, all that kind of thing. So that's on the list of stuff to do. Working weekends. I already work weekends. For instance, this morning I left the house a little after probably 9:30ish, and then got to the rental property, tried to fix the ceiling fan, had to work with payment transfers with the tenant that is trying to learn how to use Zelle. It's instant for all you mom and pop landlords out there. Highly recommend Zelle. Work with your tenants to figure that out. Then working through a eviction or termination of a lease, I should say, on another unit for a problem tenant, and then just trying to help some other tenants get caught up in general maintenance items. So that was today, Sunday, August 17th, and working weekends is a given. So create Udemy courses. So I don't really like trying to profess on things that I haven't done myself, or doing anything that I haven't already done myself. So for a little bit more background, I turned 27 in June. It's now August, and we're in a 2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bath house with a 3-car garage and a pool, and our monthly rent is $2,150 in Tampa, Florida. Don't think that there's really too many opportunities like that. Really kind of sniped this off of the MLS. I check the markets every single day. I've toured hundreds and hundreds of houses for fix and flips. Been a part of 17 fix and flip deals, most of which were wholesale opportunities. That's really kind of how I got started. But then switched from there to KW Commercial, wanted to be in the multifamily space, left multifamily, started doing some leasing. Once the market started taking a bit of a dive, interest rates started going up. And then from there, got into business brokerage, successfully sold a catering company for, going up to almost $2 million. And now I'm trying to help that same company purchase a wedding venue for, north of $6 million in the Tampa Bay area. And now I'm doing land acquisitions for future land development. So I've had my hand in a little bit of everything, and I kind of know what I'm looking at. And the way my brain works, I don't know anybody here in Tampa. I moved here, not a dollar to my name, besides maybe $2,000 that I had to sell out of my Robinhood account in order to afford rent. My first lease was $499. I lived in an extended stay America my first month that I was here, and then it was spoonfuls of peanut butter and shots of espresso for the following 3 years, and racked up tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt multiple times, and then sold it off, or paid it off selling real estate, where there was stretches of 9 months with no money, and then all of a sudden you're getting a $35,000 paycheck, $75,000 paycheck type of stuff. So anyway, there's a little bit of background talking about the Udemy courses. I think as a broker of 2 brokerages, having successfully contracted or already closed on almost $40 million in just land in the last under 2 years, my current role, I can kind of, help guide some of y'all out there that are looking for stuff. So that's the Udemy courses side of things. Estate sales, that's more of like a hobby type of deal, and going out to estate sales, finding cool art, nice furniture, maybe kind of like refurbish some furniture type of stuff, and I just think that's kind of like a fun hobby, but you can make money doing it at the same time. It just depends on how much energy you have. So Turo rentals. So I rented a Corvette Stingray, and it was awesome. Loved it. Wanted to figure out a way that I might be able to purchase one for myself. If I were to put it on Turo and I rented it out for 50% of the time, it would probably pay for all the expenses. I get a free Corvette Stingray for 2 weeks out of the month. I don't think that's really going to be the main thing. My brother loves cars. I love cars even more so because my brother loves them. So Turo business could potentially be in the mix. I think what might be better though is an equipment rental business, and that's kind of mixing in some of that heavy equipment like bush hogs for forestry mulching, for partially clearing land and stuff like that. And that seems more horizontally integrated for what we're already doing than kind of reaching into a different sector. So podcast, I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while. That's also the reason for this camera, these recordings, everything. Want to start putting these on YouTube, using the audio to create podcasts, kind of having a 2-in-1 type of deal. Airbnbs. So as I mentioned, the Gulfport Triplex, that property can be rented out as a short-term rental property. I don't know that we're going to get that deal. It's really up in the air right now. It's 50-50. But I'll be sending out my best and final offer tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Airbnbs, though, great way to make income. I believe that a lot of these municipalities are cracking down on them if you're not zoned properly, so make sure you're zoned properly, paying the licenses and fees and things like that in order to be able to do so. So that's really the Airbnb game. You can make double or triple the mortgage payment, or double or triple what you might be able to for a long-term stay, if done correctly. So that's that. Paintings. So I purchased an easel and some canvases and stuff like that, and I've had this idea for a long time that I would paint over these sheets of 50 $1 bills, and I'd kind of create a series or like a collection of them and really just throw it out there, see how it does. And an idea that I've had for a while. And those are real $1 bills, and purchased that from the Treasury, the US Mint. Junk haul removal. So this is really horizontally integrated. If we're doing fix and flips and we need to haul stuff away, might as well get a trailer to do so, make a couple extra bucks hauling other people's garbage. So writing a book. I believe a book is about 25,000 words for a total manuscript. Right now, I think I have about half of that already pre-written from my endeavor of writing a book my senior year of college, and now kind of carrying that over into the real world is really the book was supposed to be targeted towards kind of the juniors and seniors of college. So as you're preparing for the real world, from somebody that's recently graduated from college, kind of being in this iPhone generation, seeing the progression, not in a professional sense, but I was there before iPhone times, and I'm now in the working world with AI. So seeing that transition in literally just the last 15 years, 20 years, it's quite rapid, and it takes a lot of getting used to, and there's not a lot of people that have really seen that progression. There's a whole lot of people that own really big businesses that already built those businesses before the internet even existed. So kind of just moving on through their lawn care business. I figured since I have some push mowers and stuff like that, I could start doing the neighbors' lawns, and maybe I'll charge like $40 a month to do their lawn, and half of that would go to like some type of VA type of deal to help people that are veterans that don't have housing or something like that, Habitat for Humanity type of deal. So that was that idea. Sell checklists on Etsy. So this is talking about closing checklists. This is for doing fix and flips. This is for doing wholesale deals. This is for business brokerage. This is for land acquisitions. This is for processing. This is for running virtual assistants. The list goes on and on. There's a lot of different checklists that go into a business brokerage, or just brokerage in general, real estate that is, that encompasses a lot of different opportunities that are going to be thrown your way. So that's really that checklist that I would be doing based on all my experience during the last 5.5 years, moving here in June of 2020. So right in the heart of COVID. So selling underwriting templates. So this will kind of go in line with those checklists, right? So as an acquisitions person primarily, I'm looking at tons and tons and tons of different opportunities, and then looking at what's going to make that a good deal, and based on a conservative estimate, a market rate estimate, and an optimistic type opportunity. So that's really what those are. I already have that built out, kind of built on another template I was able to get my hands on. So My brother is also going to be getting his real estate license, more than likely hanging that with Hanco and Associates. Hanco and Associates is the same name of the company that my grandfather built 30, 40 years ago, and back then it was a heating and electric company. And I've since kind of been the phoenix of that and turned it into a real estate brokerage. So that is where Hanco and Associates come from. It also comes from Hanlon, which comes from the O'Hanlon clan in Ireland. So Hanco and Associates, real estate brokerage. So that's that. Venue rental business. So getting our hands on some land, building maybe some kind of barndominium, building some kind of chapel or a really nice water feature, something like that for these weddings. And then they could bring in their outside catering. Who knows? But all I know is like venues make $5,000 to $10,000 a night for like a 5-hour period for a wedding one time. And they're doing events every single weekend, sometimes multiple events every week. So if you're making $5,000 an event for every single weekend for a month, it's 20 grand a month. And you know, you build a barndominium for what? Maybe 300,000 or 400,000. How many months is it going to take you to pay that thing off? So that's kind of what I'm talking about there with the weddings. People are spending crazy money on weddings these days. So Saturdays, work days, so really working from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then grabbing lunch. That's like a 5-hour period. And if you do that every single Saturday for 50 months, I mean, that's what, 250 hours a year. And I mean, you're gonna at least become an amateur at doing what you're doing. You're gonna become knowledgeable enough to be dangerous. 5 times 50, yeah, that's 250 hours. So anyway, Saturdays are work days, and if you're not working Saturdays, I'm sorry for you. Sundays are for family days, learning and meal prep. Right now I'm trying to get my CCIM, Certified Commercial Investment Member certification, and with that, having that credential next to your name looks really good when you're trying to pitch people on why you're qualified. Yeah, so the goal is to have about 40 to 60 units, and the reason why you want to have at least 40 to 60 units is because once you hit that 40 to 60 unit range, it makes sense to hire a property management person that can handle everything, especially if it's all in one location. If you have 40 to 60 single family rentals, you got to go all over the place, and it's not centralized. So if you could sell that portfolio and then roll that into a consolidated deal, that's kind of the game plan. KPIs, so number of calls made and numbers of offers made. That's pretty much it. If you're sending out offers, if you are making offers, you have to send offers out. You might only get 1 in 10, 1 in 15. So if you send 3 offers a day, every day for 5 days, 15 offers a week, 60 offers a month, you might get 4 of those. If you get 4 of those, 1 of those is going to be an absolute home run. So just keep making offers. That's on a single family basis, by the way. If you're talking about real estate development for land development, yeah, you're making a lot less offers, like a lot less offers. We might make 4 offers a month, but we've looked at hundreds and hundreds of sites, of which we might have only underwritten about 2 dozen. So of those 2 dozen, we might send an offer out on a third. And then of the third that we send an offer out on, maybe maybe 1 in 5 gets accepted eventually, but it, you know, drags on. 2 years you could be chasing that deal. Finally, they're ready to come around. Then you go back and forth negotiating for 6 months, and then you don't get it. 6 more months go by, comes back around. Now you're making a deal happen. And then it's gonna be another 12 months to get the thing to close. Land development takes a long ass freaking time. Anyway, so all in on real estate, that's kind of our primary thing. That's where we're able to get our unfair advantage on this channel. That's really the core foundation of everything that we're doing. And really the thesis behind that is more millionaires have been created by real estate than any other thing out there. More billionaires have been created by owning, running, building businesses than anything out there. And, you know, real estate's pretty low risk. It's not get rich quick, it's get rich for sure, which is slow. But if you can get the reoccurring revenue coming in from those real estate sources, and then you could use that reoccurring steady income to go into more high risk opportunities, eventually some of those things are going to pay off. High risk opportunities that I'm focused on is crypto. So that's my philosophy as we're, you know, going through this stuff. Maybe mixing in some of the Airbnb stuff, which I haven't done yet, but I've been dying to do. Was the whole vision of me moving down here to Florida from Maryland, was owning a portfolio of short-term rental properties, and then I would be a snowbird in my 20s going back and forth from Maryland so I could be with family and, you know, still enjoy beach life. And hasn't quite worked out like that, but I'm better off for it. So real estate, selling digital products, I'm kind of getting burnt out of selling my services, and it would be really nice to have a replicatable process or a product, something I can hand somebody and say, this is what I've created for you. It's very high quality. It's gonna help you do XYZ, whatever. Selling a product, but it's like an information product, is probably the best horizontally integrated thing to the real estate business right now, because it's really hard to sell a actual physical product for a service-based business, at least as far as real estate brokerage goes, because you're just doing contracts. Unless you're selling like business cards, or you're selling like, I don't know, listing signs, or you're doing like drone videos or something like that. But even then, that's like, it's not a physical product, it's drone videos. Maybe selling drones that are built for property, I don't know. But I just want to start selling more products. So that's one thing on the horizon that I've been looking into. We really want to have about 6 to 8 units for long-term rentals. That should net us about $2,500 a month. But then again, with an Airbnb rental property, after all the expenses, I think we should be able to net about $2,500 to $3,500 a month. You know, based on that deal. And so I need to allocate about 5 to 10 hours a week on CCIM. 1 weekend per month is just doing nothing. It's just a rest weekend. I literally can't name the last weekend I took here not doing anything. We took a family vacation to South Carolina in Surfside Beach. That was awesome. Really enjoyed that. So this kind of goes into the whole timeline thing. So in 2025, Matt gets a CCIM, Hanco, still working 9 to 5 jobs. Ryan moves down to Florida. Ryan gets his real estate license. That's 2025. So then by 2029, got 1 to 3 fix and flips per year. We've got about 6 to 8 rental properties in the pipeline, really kind of building out the property management stuff. So this year being 2025, 2029, 4 years away. I think 6 to 8 rental units by 2029 is more than doable. By 2030, horizontally integrating businesses, maybe some of those other businesses that we were talking about before. I can't even read what that says. C/M res. I don't know. By 2034, which is about 9 years away, we would have about 20 to 30 rental units.
Where are you seeing flashlight?
I don't know what that says.
I think that's me doing residency.
Huh?
That's me doing residency.
Oh. Yeah, it says Lilia's doing her residency. So she's got going on. She's going to be a doctor. She's going to connect all of her doctor friends with us. We're going to do a lot of deals. We're going to make a ton of money for everyone. Okay. Oh, Lilia's fellowship. So she'll be doing her fellowship by 2034. That's 9 years away. You're not going to be doing fellowship by 2034.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Depends on how long the fellowship is.
Anyway, 2035, Matt full commercial will have 40 to 60 units under our portfolio. Ryan full management. By 2037, so 12 years from now, we will officially have a family compound. I'm thinking like cows, I'm thinking horses, chickens, probably 40 to 50 acres or something. Who knows? So that's the family compound. Private equity plus family office. My mom would be able to retire and move here to Tampa, be with my brother and I on a more regular basis. Multifamily, single family, and commercial development. Kind of using my experience based on what I'm doing now to do that. And then in 20 years from now, 2045, Lilia will run her own practice. And so when she starts running her own practice, we'll kind of help building up her medical business. So anyway, that's kind of the overarching life game plan for what we have going on. I'm sure things are going to deviate. I'm sure things are going to change, but overall just thought that would be a good video for everyone. So kind of moving into what I really wanted to talk about now that I can delete this entire thing is going to be looking at how the hell am I going to buy a $1.35 million triplex in Gulfport, Florida with an $80,000 a year salary. Well, I got lucky and I have some family that's been able to invest in my real estate deals. Friends and family are able to help you get started if you don't already know, how you're gonna fund these type of deals. So, we've got this triplex or quadplex in Winter Haven, Florida, which is about an hour away from Tampa, that we've put some money into. And
Can I cross?
yeah, you can cross. You want to say hi?
Hello, Kira.
All right.
I'm gonna start meal prepping.
Okay. Me and Lulu are gonna handle it from here.
Okay, just take care of her.
I will.
You gotta feed her too.
I know. All right. So anyway, got this quadplex in Winter Haven, Florida that we purchased 3 years ago, almost. And right now, it could be subdivided into 2 duplexes rather than being a 1 tax ID. If you sell them off as two duplexes, we would probably be able to make about $40,000 more. However, doing that lot split, you have to file that by July 1st in order to be